Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome to episode 53 of Crime in Court USA. I'm recording this on February 28th, 2024. I'm your host, Mundo Carrillo. I hope you guys are doing well. I was gone for a few weeks, I know that, but I'm back. Alright, it's all good. Everything is well. The ransom was paid in full, and the rebels let me go. So, here I am. And that's enough of that bullshit. Let's just get into some news, shall we? P. Diddy Combs is Combs. I don't know why I said it like Holmes. Combs is facing another sexual assault lawsuit. This time it comes from Lil Rod, producer Lil Rod, who recently produced Diddy's Love? Hold on, what's the name of the album? Yeah, it's called The Love Album Off the Grid. And Lil Rod, whose real name is Rodney Jones, just alleges some unsavory stuff that Diddy basically forced him to go find prostitutes and engage in sex acts with them, that he was very forceful with it, very demanding, that he just didn't think he could take no for an answer. Also alleges that, and this is gross, this is your warning right now, that Diddy would just unprovoked and just go up to him and touch his beehole, so definitely sexual assault allegedly. And this isn't the first time. Another person that's filed a lawsuit against him, Cassie, I think that was last year, alleging the same thing, that she was forced to have sex with other guys and things like that. So I believe other women have at least come out and said things. I don't know if there are lawsuits in place, but it's all kind of crashing down. People in the music industry now, with Cassie and now Lil Rod, were speaking out about this, filing lawsuits. The one with Cassie was filed, or it was filed, and then it was settled the very next day. And of course, that's no admission of guilt or anything like that. But it was settled out of court, so we don't know how much money she got, because surely she got some money. And yeah. So that's out of the courts already. But this one's new. They categorically deny it. Of course, Diddy, his son, and the other defendants who were involved in this, that they were blamed in the lawsuit of RICO violation, basically acting like a criminal organization. So Jones is seeking $30 million, and that's one thing that Diddy's lawyers have jumped on, is that these guys just want a payday. That's kind of like one of the standard responses, I feel like, when someone gets sued for something like this. These people just want a payday kind of thing. And maybe they do, because remember now, these are all just allegations. However, the allegations are starting to pile up, and that's not good. It's not good. It usually shows a pattern, and usually, I've said this before, and it's not maybe a good thing to say, but I don't know, man, patterns just make things more believable, and you could just, I don't know. It's just, this is all very believable after what's come out with Bill Cosby, with R. Kelly, now with what's coming out with Vince McMahon, and now Diddy. It's just, and maybe it's all true. Maybe it's not. But maybe it is. He seems like he could be a little rough around the edges, you know what I mean? He kind of that's like his persona, is that he's, bad boy baby, that he just kind of does what he wants kind of thing. Like, he goes hard, parties on yachts, so forth. We'll see if more lawsuits keep coming out, or more allegations keep coming out. I'm thinking maybe this one gets settled too. I'm not entirely sure. It's more than a day later, and it hasn't been yet. So maybe they'll actually fight. Actually, you know what? Their whole statement was that they were going to fight this in court. So maybe they will drag this out. We'll see what happens. That's like one of my taglines, isn't it? We'll see. We'll see what happens. I say it like after every story. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, we'll see. But we will. We'll see what happens indeed. Let's move on. The trial of the armorer on the Rust set, where cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed. That was on Alec Baldwin's movie a couple of years ago in Santa Fe. That's not great for the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who was charged with manslaughter, because she was in charge of making sure no live rounds were on the set. So I've been paying attention to the Santa Fe, New Mexican. Shout out to my old friend Phaedra Haywood, covering the trial. And I just kind of reading up on it. I don't know. I'm thinking based on what I've read from old Phaedra here, that we might get a guilty verdict just because of how negligent she seemed to have been. Miss Gutierrez-Reed, who was only 24, which is very young when this happened. This happened in October. Let's go over what happened, shall we? So back in October of 2022, they were filming a movie called Rust that was intended for Netflix. They were filming it near Santa Fe, and it was starring Alec Baldwin, who was also a producer on the film. Now, they were rehearsing a scene in a church where Alec was drawing his gun and pointing it at the camera. At some point, that gun went off, and it hit the cinematographer in the chest. It went through her, and it hit director Joel Souza in the shoulder. Hutchins died at the scene, I believe, or at the hospital, and Souza was just taken to the hospital and treated and released. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is charged with manslaughter, and actually so was Alec Baldwin. She, of course, is going through trial now, and he is scheduled to go to trial later this year in July. I'm skeptical when court dates are set, especially that far out. I don't think they're going to hit that July mark. We'll see if he even goes to trial. I'm thinking, what am I thinking on that? I'm thinking, yeah. I think he probably likes his chances going to trial there. He probably likes the chances of getting an acquittal. But anyway, so that's set for later. I don't know if we're going to hit that July mark. But Gutierrez-Reed, she's on trial now. And it looks like she was just negligent based on their testimony. Today, a corporal who was formerly a detective with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office, she testified. She said she interviewed Gutierrez-Reed after all the mayhem went down. It was this detective's job to investigate how a live round ended up on set in the gun, and it looks like there was just like a mystery box. Or Gutierrez-Reed again was telling this detective what was happening, or she was giving her side of the story, and she was telling the detective about this ammo box that she found, this random ammo box that she just kind of didn't know where it came from, but apparently she checked them. She like jiggled it a little, and like they made a little sound that indicated that they were dummies to her. So she believed they were dummies, and even though she didn't know where this box came from, she apparently used it, and yeah, it fired an actual bullet and it killed somebody and injured someone else. And I think this is scheduled to go on through next week, so maybe by the next episode we'll have a verdict. Again, based on her own testimony that she was kind of just willy-nilly about the bullets she was putting in a gun. I'm thinking a guilty verdict on this one. But as I always say, we shall see, which we will. Maybe next week. All right, I think that is all for this week, guys. I really appreciate you listening. No, short and sweet. Maybe we'll get back with the longer one next week. I want to thank the Patreon supporters, Daniel, Tony, Andres, and Emily. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you guys want to support me, head over to patreon.com/crimeandcourtusa, where you can get exclusive episodes. We're going to have one out on Friday. Planning for that, so go check it out. It's only $1 a month. All right, guys. Until next time, my name's Mundo, and I'm out. Peace.